Authentic Christianity is about following Jesus, living in a world yet of paradox. On one hand, we have been gifted with a new heart, a spiritual rebirth, placing our trust in Christ. And on the other hand, we still live in a fallen world, including the weaknesses and needs of our flesh. Many Christians, though, underestimate the devastation of the fall, and that's not good because they are often discouraged by the crap that they experience in this life. But what's worse is the underestimating of the power that we have in our walk and relationship with Christ. Paul challenges us as believers to continue the work that he began in us by changing how we think. And you will find these specific instructions in Romans, the 12th chapter. And in verse 12 of the 12th chapter, Paul commands us to be joyful in hope. His command infers a sense of joy as strength, regardless of the circumstances. But how can we be joyous and happy people when we struggle in the human experience of living in a world full of stuff? First, it's important to recognize that Paul's challenge to us is also God's challenge, and that we are never instructed to live lives outside of the power of God. Therefore, it is possible to live a joyous life in a not-so-happy world. Second, it's important to notice Paul's choice of words. He says, be joyous in hope. That's a future understanding. Well, we know what joy is because we know the opposite of it is anger and anxiety and depression. And for the most part, we know that these negative emotions rule our minds and spirit because of unmet expectations. And unmet expectations happen because we're focusing on the wrong things. You see, joy is experienced by activating hope in God's promises, which is the right expectations and the right focus. So joy is found in godly hope, focusing on God, focusing on His promises. What does it look like exactly? Well, consider these things. First, hope starts by understanding not what you need to do for God, but what God has done for you. And hope is alive when we know and follow in God's ways because we believe they're the best ways. And three, and when we walk with God, we're going to be empowered by His Spirit, just a desire to be. When we are captured by God's Spirit, we experience joy no matter what hardships we face. This is what it means to be empowered by God and His activities and His kingdom. Even in mourning, we can experience joy because we know that God makes all things right in His time, even if it is beyond our time on earth. This is the real deal. This is real Christianity. This is miraculous power that comes by fixing your eyes on God, what He has done, what He is doing, and what He's going to do. This is Jim Piper bringing you truth in 3 minutes.